joined here today by the one and only Dhiego Lima, coming off of now a three-fight winning streak with his win over Luke Juma at UFC 243. Thank you so much for joining me, man. How are you?
No problem, man. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me. Doing great, can't complain. Feeling great.
Of course, man. We're glad to have you on. Let's talk about this fight a little bit, man. I mean, controversy aside from the judges, how do you kind of look back at your performance in this fight?
Man, I feel good. Use my experience. The fight was going my way. With the kicks. And didn't do much. I wish I could have done a little bit more. But once you're winning, in a big pay-per-view, man, you're not going to change anything until your opponent does. And he didn't readjust to my movement. He didn't readjust to getting hit. And I just kept doing what I was doing. That's where my experience came in and said, hey, you don't have to change anything. He does, and he didn't. So, I'll take it.
And did you realize during the fight that you were winning all the exchanges? I mean, some fighters, they mentioned they kind of black out. I mean, did you realize in real time?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Anytime anytime he attacked, I counter him with something. Anytime I was attacking, I was landing. I don't know how many kicks I landed. So I definitely felt like I was winning the whole fight the whole time.
And I'm curious, when you log back into your phone, I assume you get back on social media and everything. What was the reaction? Because it looked like from my end, people were really praising you, talking about the big changes in your game, how you've gotten better. What did you see on your end?
Only thing I saw was judges, man. What are these judges doing? What are these judges thinking? But yeah, and with the commentating as well, when I rewatch it, I really have to thank DC and all. They see, they see the difference in my game. They see I'm comfortable in there, and and that's the thing. Guys are not readjusting to my game. I'm not the same fighter I used to be. They can't beat me like they used to. So, guys are gonna have to bring something new to the table. Or I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm happy doing it, and I'm not getting hit. And, that's how you got to do it.
And this fight did take place in Australia. Was this your first time going, what they say, the land down under?
Definitely, man. First time in Australia, man. Loved it down there. Those people are awesome, man. I'm in love with Australians, man. They're great people, very happy, outgoing people, and it was just a great time.
Did you do anything special? Did you get a chance to visit everything, or did you kind of leave right after you were done?
No, that Sunday right after the fight, we went out, did some shopping for the family, but I really wanted to see a kangaroo, but there was not enough time. So, man, that was upsetting, but we did go out right after the fight, did some shopping and just walked around a little bit.
And what time was the fight at for you? Because I know for us the pay-per-view is at the regular time, but in Australia, what time was it when you fought?
I fought right at 1:30 because the main card over there started at 1 in the afternoon. So my fight was like 1:30, and I think by 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock we're all done and we're all back to the hotel. So it was pretty fast.
Yeah, was it weird fighting at that time? Because I know fighters, it's always Saturday night, it's always late. Was it weird for you this new time?
Oh, not at all, man. That's the time I usually train every day, so it was perfect. It worked out perfect for me.
Yeah, how was it for you having the rest of the day to yourself, though? Because I assume after a fight, people are used to decompressing, but now you can actually go out and do stuff.
Yeah, man, it was awesome, man. Never did that before, because usually we fight so late. So, man, it was just an awesome experience overall. I actually like fighting early, be done early, go enjoy your day. And, I didn't have any injuries, so I was able to walk around and just have a good time after.
And what did you think of the crowd? I mean, did you feel, you definitely weren't the hometown fighter compared to Luke, but what did you feel from the crowd?
Oh, man, it was amazing, dude. They were awesome. And, during the fight, they were quiet. At the exchanges, they were yelling. Like, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were watching. They were very educated. So, man, hats off to all of them. And it was awesome. It really was.
And did you get a chance to watch the main event, or were you out and about?
Of course, yeah. We stayed in the locker room. We watched the main event. It was amazing fight, and just a great show overall.
And I'm curious, for you as a fighter, what did you think of Israel's walkout? It's definitely not something we've seen, at least for ESPN and the UFC. It's not something we've really seen.
Oh, I didn't see it because when I was watching, I was in the back. I didn't watch until they got to the cage. So actually, it took me a few times to see it, and then my coach showed me, and I was like, "What? That was crazy!" So it was amazing, man. That was pretty cool. I thought it was cool.
All right, and let's talk about the big storyline coming out of that fight was, of course, the judges. What's going through your mind when you hear the scorecards being announced?
Man, for the first time, I thought I had a clear decision. I really thought I had a clear, and then they said 29-28 Luke. I was really like, come on. I thought I had I thought I beat Court McGee by unanimous decision as well, and then they said his name first. So I was just like, come on, again. And it was just it was crazy. I didn't expect that at all.
And so you guys are going to be appealing the judge's decision. Well, what's kind of going on there? I mean, what's the appeal for? Is it to switch it to a unanimous? What's this appeal for?
Switch it to the unanimous, but really, man, we want to put out there, like, we got to know who these judges are. Like, I want to get fighters behind me. My manager's been really big on that, man. We got to know who these judges are. Like, they got to know. I landed, how many kicks did I land? They got to know how hard it is to land a kick on the same place. They got to know how hard it is to end on top. Like, they got to know everything. And a lot of these people, man, they're just sitting in the back of their computer. They have no type of experience. And really, man, these guys, our whole life is dependent on these guys. So, I feel like as fighters, we should know who they are. They need to come up like the referee does before a fight. Hey, I have this background. I'm going to be judging your fight. This is what I'll be looking for. And, just to know, man, I think it's awful the way it is. Like, anywhere you go, these people are just, they have no type of background in martial arts. Like, we're trying to create awareness for that. It's like, it's got to be changed. Like, it's got to be former fighters, or it's got to be a legit, like, purple belt and up. They got to have some type of Muay Thai background. And, you see Dana White doesn't agree with judges a lot of times. And, and it's like, come on, Dana, like, let's do something about it, man. Like, please, like, it's just awful. We need to know who these judges are. We need to know their background. And there's lives here. There's a lot of people's lives dependent on it. And it's so big, like, a lot, because we get paid a show money and a win bonus, so it's like that win bonus is very important, and to have it robbed sometimes, it's like, come on, by somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're watching. They don't know what's a takedown. They don't know what's a half guard. They don't know what's mount. They don't know what taking a back is and holding somebody's back for 4 minutes. Like, oh, he doesn't do anything. It's like, no, he's on somebody's back for 4 minutes. You know how hard that is to do in jiu-jitsu? So, we just want to bring awareness. Like, we got to know who these judges are. It's at a point where it's getting ridiculous. Like, like I said, even Dana White, a lot of times he's like, what's wrong with that decision? Like, that's ridiculous. So it's just, we got to know who these guys are. It needs to be changed.
Yeah, it's funny you're saying this, because I think a lot of people, they thought you were doing this to kind of make your record look a little bit better. So it says unanimous, but it really sounds like you're trying to sort of change the way they pick the judges, and also send a message out there and try to kind of change the culture behind judging these fights.
Of course, that's what it's all about, man. I got my win, like, I didn't get robbed. I feel like it's awful, but yeah, if we can get a switch to unanimous, it'll bring awareness. It's like, okay, these guys are really trying to fight this. It's just to bring awareness. I got the W. I don't care if it's a split. I don't care if it's nothing. I got the W. I felt like I deserved the win, and I got it. And, we just want to bring that awareness.
And so whose idea was it to come do this? I mean, did your manager say something? Did someone on your team? Was it your idea? How did this kind of come together?
It was my manager. Right away, he was fuming, because Alex Oliveira fought a few weeks ago, and in the third round, like, the referee stands him up. He was in half guard punching, and the referee stands him up. And then the dude gets a takedown, ends up on top. That pretty much cost him the fight. It's like, you don't stand up somebody in half guard. Like, do you know what half guard is? Do you know how hard it is to get there? So it's like, these guys, they don't know what they're doing, and our life is dependent on it. It's very hard to finish a fight now, to get a knockout, to get a submission. Of course, that's what we work for, but it's very hard. Everybody's good now. Every gym is good. So these guys got to know what they're doing. They got to know what's going on.
And I did see something on Twitter recently. You and Derek kind of had a Derek Brunson and kind of back and forth about the Los Angeles Lakers. Are you a fan of the Lakers?
Oh, man, I've been a Lakers fan ever since I moved to America, man. It's been 19 years. I'm a diehard Lakers fan. We've been suffering for 10 years. Haven't made the playoffs in 10 years, but this year's the year, man. This year we're going all the way. Anthony Davis, LeBron, Kuzma, we're going all the way, man.
So I believe you're in Atlanta. You're in Georgia. You're not a Hawks fan at all?
Unless they're playing the Lakers, I cheer for them. If they play the Lakers, I got to go with my Lakers. But, it's a hometown. But when I got here, that's when 2002, 2001, 2002. That's when
yeah.
the Lakers are good, and that's what got me to watching basketball. And then right away they were bad. They lost to the finals against the Pistons, and when they lost to the Pistons, that's when I knew I was a fan. Like, I was mad, I was flaming, and I was like, all right, I'm a Lakers fan. So it's ever since then, been some good rides, but the past 10 years been rough, but we made up for it.
Well, since you're a Lakers fan, I do have to ask you, who do you think is the greatest of all time? I mean, you guys obviously have LeBron right now. You had Kobe in the past.
Kobe, man. Kobe's the man. That mentality, you can't change that. It's just Kobe's Kobe.
So there's no Michael Jordan for you, none of those guys?
Yeah, Jordan is Jordan, but for me, Kobe. I just, I grew up watching him. By the time I started watching, Michael Jordan wasn't there anymore, but we all know Jordan, but for me, it's got to be Kobe because of that.
And so coming back to MMA, I believe your brother Douglas is going to be fighting Rory McDonald here soon, if I got that correct. What do you kind of expect out of his fight, aside from him winning, I assume?
Man, it's going to be a great fight. Rory brings it. Rory's amazing, and I can't wait. My brother's excited. My brother's ready. The first time, I feel like he respected him a little bit too much. So, since they fought already, that's going to be right out the window. They're going to get on it right away. And I feel like the last fight, my brother didn't show much. He was hurting him so much with the leg kicks, he didn't really, show the rest of his game. So I feel like he's going to show everything this time, and at the end of the day, we're going to get that W.
And so what's next for you at this point in your career? I mean, you're on a 3-fight winning streak. Is it a ranked guy next? Is it about getting exciting fights? Is it more money? What's next for you at this point?
I just want to fight, keep winning. Alex Morono just fought. He called me out right after. He said he wanted to fight me. We're both on a 3-fight win streak, and I feel like that's a great fight. We're both up-and-comers, and so I feel like that's the matchup we're going to be working on. My manager's on it already. I'm sure his manager's on it. So that's probably the fight you expect to see, probably around January, February. Like he said, that's his timeline, and I just fought the week before him, so that's pretty much my timeline as well. So we'll get that going, and if Sean Shelby doesn't like it, he gives me somebody else. It doesn't matter. I'm just here to fight. I don't care. I just got to keep winning. That's all I got to do, man. I don't care if it's, like I told you, I don't care if it's a split, unanimous, knockout, submission. You just got to keep winning. At this level, it's so hard to get a W, and I'm just enjoying my ride, man.
All right, and that leads me to my last question. I have just one more for you. You mentioned you wanted Alex next and kind of a timeline. Is there a specific event where you'd like him next, something that makes sense for you at this point?
I don't know. Like, I haven't seen any of the events in January, February, but definitely it's either Brazil or America. I want to be in the States. A lot of people, I have so many fans here, people that wants to see me fight in the U.S., and my past two was Canada and then now Australia. So definitely want to be in the U.S. I don't know when they're going back to Brazil next year, so that could be that too. So it's either Brazil or America, and, we'll see. I haven't seen the list of events yet. I'm sure they'll probably be announcing soon. And, we'll go from there.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you so much for the time, Dhiego. I really appreciate it. Congratulations on the victory, man. It was good to see you rack up these wins in a row.
Thank you very much, man. Thanks for having me, and I'm sure we'll talk soon.